Okay, I'm going to showcase a build that I recently started using. Um, this build sucks. Don't use it. It's basically just a meme, but I wanted to turn Zaku into an AC-130, so that's essentially what I did. So this build looks very different from pretty much every build imaginable because it's trash. Don't use it. But essentially what we're doing is we're going for max aim glide duration, right? That's what we're doing. Now, I substituted one mod out here, and it's just for range, but you could put in coaction drift for, an increase to aerodynamic, but I decided to go with more range instead, so that way I could steal more weapons, basically, right? But agility drift, stealth drift, right? Both of these. This is aim glide duration, and this is reduced damage while airborne. Patagium, which is 90% aim glide duration. And then we've got Aero Vantage, which is minus 100 gravity while aim gliding. This is very important because this will essentially allow us float in the air. Aviator reduces damage by 40%. Boreal's Anguish gives us really good things. It gives us 60% aim glide duration and reduced damage by 20% when we're in the air. The negative 75 gravity doesn't matter because of Aero Vantage, but without this, we lose out on the aim glide duration, so that's why I have it. I don't have any other Boreal mods, or I would put them like on my weapons. I'd fit them somewhere, because I think they go on the weapons. I'm not too sure. I don't know if they're all frame weapons or if they're split between, the different kinds of weapon categories or whatnot, but I don't have them. But if I did, that would increase the damage reduction while airborne. So in theory, like, you could get a decent amount of damage reduction when you're in the air, but probably not enough to make this worthwhile to use. And it isn't. It's just something that I think is pretty funny. This is the Torrid build, and this is the Glaive Prime build. Pretty much just standard stuff. It's not all that important. Well, it is, because that's what I'm using to kill all of the enemies. And the build on my frame is just floating around, essentially. So the weapons are important, but you don't have to use the Torrid, you don't have to use the Glaive Prime. Anything that kill massive groups of enemies fairly quickly will do just fine. But the only weapon I have that is very good at that is the Torrid, so that's what I'm using. But the aim glide duration is pretty stupid, and that's basically why I like this. Because you can kind of just hover around in the air. Now, if there was something I could get to reduce the zoom when you're aiming, I would use that. But with the Torrid, it's not very important, because you don't aim in very far anyways. But with other weapons, you might want to get something that decreases the zoom, presumably. But, yeah, this is basically what I've been doing, and it's really stupid that it actually kind of works. There are things that will kill you very easily, and those are pretty much all of the Eximus units, except for, like, energy and life leech. But shock, arson, blitz, those Eximus units, yeah, those things will kill you very quickly. Acolytes as well, they can knock you down, and that can be very annoying. So, oh hey, look, a bunch of Eximus units. Those totally aren't gonna ruin my day. Well, they're all ancient healers, so it doesn't matter. If there were anything else, that would be trouble, but... But yeah, you can kind of just aim glide around the map, kill enemies, right? Steal weapons from them. Use your fourth for the dodge chance only. And as long as you've got, like, a companion that can put out, like, radiation procs on enemies, that's also very good at keeping you alive. Obviously, the more enemies that aren't shooting at you, the better. Because you're going to be hopefully killing things quickly. And that's your main form of damage reduction, is just there aren't enemies alive to shoot me. So that's your main form of damage reduction. And then you've got the extra stuff for when you're airborne, which isn't that great. And then you've got, you know, radiation procs on the enemy, so that way the enemies that are alive are more likely to shoot at the other enemies and not you. So that's basically what we're doing to stay alive. And occasionally we're stealing weapons from the enemies, but that one happens, you know, every so often and not frequently. Unless you decide to not use your fourth ability, which I wouldn't recommend, because Zaku is very squishy, and it is not a good idea. But yeah, this is stupid. It's stupid that it works in Steel Path, and it's stupid that you can actually survive for a decent amount of time. The longest I've gone is like 40 minutes, around there. Now, I could have gone longer, but I died like twice in that like 40-minute survival, so I just decided to leave. Like, I could have stayed longer, but I didn't really feel like doing it. I just felt like leaving. Because, you know, dying twice in a mission isn't very good. So, I just felt like leaving. Because normally, you don't ever die in this game. So, dying twice is real bad. At least I hardly ever die. I don't know about other people, but very rarely will I actually die in a mission. And that's mostly because I play Wisp. But yeah. This is really dumb. You can do this with pretty much any frame, but I only used it on Zaku and Zephyr. Zephyr, I felt like, was a little bit too thematic. It made a little bit too much sense to do this on Zephyr, and I didn't like it. So, I wanted to use it on Zaku, because you're a flying skeleton that has a bunch of guns, and it's dumb. And I like it. I like it a lot. Acolytes showing up. That's what the Glaive Prime is for. Fucking Torment. Bastard. Hate the knockdowns so much. Cast fourth ability again. I don't really have any arcanes that are useful for this build either. Something that you could do is you could use Arcane Arachne if you had it, because this also increases your wall latch duration. So you could kind of just chill out on the walls too if you wanted. But I'd much prefer just flying around and moving in the air, because it's just real stupid. But yeah, I don't know. I found this to be fairly fun, a nice change of pace from playing normally, playing efficiently, and, you know, using the proper builds. Because, you know, I've played for such a long time that normal star chart stuff I find pretty boring at times. So I wanted to spice things up a little. And this is what I decided to do with my resources. This was a terrible misuse of Endo. Upgrading all of these worthless mods to max. It wasn't that expensive, but still, you shouldn't be upgrading any of these mods, and I have all of them maxed out, so real stupid. Real stupid. But, I don't know. I just find it fun. What can I say? I'm a dumbass. AC-130 above in Warframe. But yeah, anyway. I'm gonna run to the extraction. Cut this off here. Could go longer, but there's no point. You get the idea. We're just flying. And also you can kind of spam the slide button to move a little bit faster. But anyway, that's the build. It's trash. Don't use it.